Hey guys, Adam here, Blackfyre Productions, and welcome back to another World War Marvel. Today we are going to be looking at CP38, Captain America, and War Machine. Going to be doing a little bit of unboxing and discussion of the lists I've been thinking of for these guys. Before we get into the discussion aspect though, go check the description of the video down below. You'll see a link to Torchlight Games and Hobbies. Go check those guys out. They've been supporting this channel for the last little while, so make sure you give those guys the support and check them out in person if you're ever in the Burlington, Ontario area. You can also use code FIRE5 to save yourself 5% off of any of your hobby supply needs. So without further ado, let's get into this unboxing of Captain America and War Machine, and then go over the cards, go over the models, what they look like, the sculpts, and then maybe we'll discuss the lists I've been thinking of using with these guys. So here we are with CP38, Captain America and War Machine with the box art. You can see that there like so. You got your side and your back. Supposedly it comes with one Captain America miniature, one War Machine miniature, 2 bases, 2 character stat cards, 4 team tactics cards, and 11 tokens. And I say supposedly because there's been times where things just haven't added up. But for the most part they do. So let's pull out all this stuff. You get your bag of tokens and stats cards, tactics cards, everything else, and then you get your miniatures and your tiles and your instructions. I'm going to put these together. I probably won't be able to use them for a while, but I'm going to put them together and get them painted up. Hopefully, well, when I filmed this, it was the Thursday before I left to go camping on the Sunday, and I was gone this whole entire week that this video came out. So it won't be until sometime shortly after this video comes out that I'll actually be able to start working on them. So instructions wise, you got your credits at the top, and then looks like pretty simple. Your torso comes in here, and then you have your legs going into the hips, joints, and then everything just attaches to that torso, and then there's 3 parts for the backpack / wings, and then the shield goes on as well off to the one side. And then you have your explosion effect, where you place Captain America onto as well. I should bring that down so you can actually see it. War Machine looks like it's a little bit more with all his guns and everything else. So 15 steps, almost double the number of steps. And it looks like there may be some smaller bits onto his shoulder pads and such. But we'll see once I actually start building him what it looks like. Let's look at the sprues next, and then we'll get into the tactics cards. Obviously, you have your bases. They do come on the standard size bases there like that, right? For anybody that's never played before, these are pretty standard bases that come with these guys. You get a sprue of 4 of them, and you can pick whatever ones you like best. Yeah, so let's do War Machine first. War Machine sprue. You'll see it there. All right, there's his back in front of his torso, his arms over here. Yeah. His head is up here. I don't know if you can get that in focus well, but it's right about there. Yeah, so that's War Machine. There's definitely some, I'm not going to say super tiny bits, but there are definitely some smaller bits which my fat thumbs and fingers have issues with at times. Explosions effects down at the bottom, so lots of pieces. We'll see how that pans out, I guess. I was gonna say fares, but pans out. Then you have Captain America. So you have his wings. They're not straight like in the one photo on the front cover, but if you want to straighten those, you could probably use boiling hot water, dip it in there for a few seconds to soften up the plastic, and then you could probably bend those out if you're wanting to. I'm not super concerned. I might bend the one wing straight. I'm not sure. So we'll see. I do like the straight wings. They do look freaking cool in the front photo. But yeah, the shield there, obviously. You can see the shield with all the texture and everything else. Where's his chest? And there's all the texture and everything with the star and everything on his chest as well. So super cool. Really liking that. Let's take a look at the tokens, and then we'll go into the tactics cards and the actual character cards. So tokens wise, you have 3 Avenger tokens, 3 Bleed tokens, 2 Activation tokens, and 3 Dazed tokens. Tons of tokens. I don't know what I'm going to do with all my tokens. Let's look at the tactics cards. So, first one up is Bird of Prey. It's unaffiliated and reactive. When Sam Wilson targets an enemy character that has the flight's innate superpower with an attack, he may spend 2 power to play this card. He adds 3 dice to the attack roll against the character and may reroll any number of attack dice during this attack, which is huge for him. If this attack deals damage, the enemy character loses a flight superpower until the end of the round, so really inhibits their movement. If they're used to jumping all over the place and you have some big terrain, they'll have to be forced to go around and everything else. The 3 attack dice and rerolls, really nice, especially when you can throw that on like Red Wing Assault or something like that, which brings it up to 9, which is decent, but then it costs 6 power. But I think there's a throw in that as well. I can't remember. And then the next card is Eyes on the Prize, unaffiliated. It's an active card. At the start of an allied character's activation, it may spend 1 power to play this card. During this activation, this character can interact with objectives at range 2 instead of the normal range 1. I think this is an interesting card that could be played well, sort of like Toad, you know what I mean? Being able to get an objective, run away with it, and hide, and still keep that good distance. So my SAM list idea is to have a horde of models, basically like spam lists like a lot of other people have been trying out. I haven't tried it yet because I don't have the models built, obviously, and I don't play on TTS, but I hear some people have had success when I've been talking like to Vincent and everything about it. So it could be interesting to keep those guys that are a little bit more fragile further away from your opponents as they're interacting with objectives. So yeah, which is cool. Tactical maneuvers, unaffiliated and reactive. When an allied character is attacking or defending before the calculate success or failure step at the end of the modified dice step of the attack, it may spend 4 power to play this card. Reroll all of the defense dice. So you can use that to hopefully get rid of all your opponent's defenses, or to hopefully reroll your own defenses to improve that success after everything else has been rolled and everything else along those lines. Really cool. Like it. Situationally interesting. And then Air Force One. When War Machine or Captain Marvel may spend 3 power to play this card. At the end of the activation, the active character's controller activates War Machine or Captain Marvel, whichever one did not play this card before their turn ends. It's almost like, you know, the Corvus and Proxima, or Sin and shoot, what's his name? Crossbones, Sin and Crossbones type thing, but between War Machine and Captain Marvel. So pretty cool. I don't think I'll ever end up playing that because I don't think I'll ever put a list where War Machine is in with Captain Marvel. I could be wrong though, but that's just my thoughts with that. So let's take a look at the cards first. Let's start with War Machine, then we'll get into Captain America's after that. So War Machine is a little bit of a tanky guy. So War Machine, James Road, obviously. 5 stamina on the front, movement of medium, size 2, and threat cost of 3. Defenses are 4 physical, 3 energy, and 3 mystical. His first basic or builder attack is Metal Storm. It's a beam 3, 5 dice, and range or power cost of 0. You get power equal to the damage dealt, so all of a sudden he could load up quite quickly in the right scenarios or crisis events. With this, and then on a wild it causes the bleed condition, because if you can get 2 or 3 people under that beam 3 and set up a nice beam attack, it could theoretically really power him up fast. He has rocket pods, which is range 4 die as builder as well. Well, not a builder, but a 0 power attack. It has the special rule of barrage. After this attack is resolved, this character may make an additional rockets pod. This attack must target another character within range 2 of the original target character. This additional attack does not have the barrage special rule. So basically it gives you 2 attacks like rapid fire. But they have to, instead of targeting the same character, it has to target 2 characters within range 2. Then he has Empty the Clip. It's also physical. All of his attacks are physical, obviously, being bullets and such. Range 3, 8 dice and 4 power to use. It's his spender. When rolling additional dice for critical results during this attack roll, roll 2 additional dice instead of 1 for each critical in the attack roll. After this attack is resolved, the character suffers 1 damage for each critical in the attacks roll. So yeah, he might take some damage from that, but I think he can definitely put out a ton of damage as well. And then he has 2 superpowers, innate, so titanium armor plating. When this character would suffer damage from an enemy effect, reduce the amount suffered by 1 to a minimum of 1. So it makes him fairly durable, especially with the high defense and, well, high defense and average, or physical defense and average with the Mystic and Energy. And then flight. So yeah, really tough nut to crack. On the back, nothing there changes at all. So that's War Machine. He definitely is in my list with Captain America, because I think that it will just be fun and he could do a ton of damage and survive. So Captain America, Sam Wilson, 5 stamina, long movement, size 2, 3 threat cost, and then 3s across the board for defenses. His first attack is physical. It is shield throw. Range 4 dice is 0 power builder. The attack after this attack resolve, this character gains 1 power automatically. This attack ignores line of sight, and the character does not benefit from cover. Fantastic. So you can throw it wherever you want within range 4. If this attack deals damage to the target is size 2 or less, the attack after the attack is resolved, the character may be pushed away from this character's short. So all of a sudden, he's now being able to push people off of objectives, which Caps, like Steve Rogers' Cap, did not have that push with his. And then Ricochet on a wild. After this attack is resolved, this character may make an additional shield throw attack. This attack must target another character within range 3 of the original target character and any distance from this character. This additional attack does not have the Ricochet special rule. Pretty cool. Only 1 power though for using it, and there's lots of things that you want to use power from Sam Wilson on, but we'll get into that shortly. His next attack is also physical. It's Red Wing Assault, range 3, 6 dice, 4 power to use. If this attack deals damage and the target character is size 3 or less, after the attack is resolved, the target character may be thrown away from this character's short. After this attack is resolved, place this character within range 2, of its current position. So it also gives him some very mobile, or it's a very mobile attack with him, allowing him to be placed in position, which I think really is what this list is all about, because we'll go into the leadership that he has, all new, all different affiliation Avengers. When this character or an allied character is dazed or KO'd, choose another non-dazed allied character. The chosen character removes 1 damage, removes 1 special condition, and may advance short. So you're getting rid of conditions, getting rid of damage, and you're advancing short. This character can, a character can only be affected by this leadership ability once per round. So you can basically, it's almost like, is it Avengers Assemble, where you spend 1 power and they get to move short? So it's almost built in when people get dazed and everything. So really cool to get you into positions, especially after somebody pushes you out off of an objective or something along those lines. And then you factor in the placement from that and his long movement. He has a ton of movement shenanigans. For his next superpower is an active. This charge takes an action, costs 2 power to do. This character immediately makes a move action followed by an attack action. This power can only be used once a round. So that's huge, because all of a sudden you're moving long and then throwing your shield throw 4, or Red Wing Assault if you have the power to do it, which is 6 power in total. So who knows? Red Wing Assault for 6, for additional range 3. His next is a reactive superpower, costs 2 again. During this activation, when this character begins a move action within range 2 of another allied character of size 2 or less, it may use this superpower. After this move action is resolved, place that allied character within 2 of its current position. So it helps move your teammates into position. Again, it's a focus of getting people into position and moving them around the board. And with that spam ability, it will help with board control. Then he has another reactive superpower, which is Vibranium Shield, cost 2, and just like Caps, when this character is, Steve Rogers, I should say, when this character is targeted by a physical or energy attack, it may use a superpower, add 2 dice to the character's defenses rules against this attack, and then he has Flight Innate superpower. On the back, nothing changes there. The artwork is really cool, though. Some tattered up uniforms and wings and everything else. So yeah, that's what we got there. Let me just get my list and we can discuss that next. All right, so going over the list, it is definitely a spam list, is what I was thinking, with a large number of models in there. But I took a couple of other characters, threw it in there due to the fact that I have a ton of models, or could field a ton of models, characters, that hopefully will capitalize with some of their abilities that they have and their superpowers that they have on their cards. So I start off with a 2-threat Black Widow. Obviously, I'm trying to get a bunch of 2 threats in here to get as many bodies out to the board. Sam himself, okay, Deadpool, and then Rocket, Hawkeye, Rocket, obviously another 2-threat character, Hawkeye, another Avenger, and 3-threat, maneuverable, can shoot from range. Iron Fist, another Avenger, also can be durable and can help with, the idea with him is that he can help sort of eliminate my opponent's activations using the Iron Fist. So hopefully by turn 3, where things are sort of, people are in combat, he'll be a target. People will want to get rid of him so they don't lose an activation, which will hopefully take the aggro off of some of my other weaker, more frail characters. Deadpool, I forgot to mention, so a lot of this is about the guns and getting lots of shots off with these guys. So he has his rapid fire, like range 4 attack, his bang, right? And then Hawkeye obviously is from the distance, the big shot from there. Iron Fist, like I said. Okoye, another 2-threat, really good 2-threat character. And then Bodyguard if ever needed. And then I have War Machine as well. So both of them are in there. The other last 2 characters I put in there are Punisher, because of the rapid fire hit, from his hip fire shot, so lots of shots, but he also, with his no more second chances, can get a bunch of punishment tokens when these characters are dazed, so it's stacking that, the extra advantages you get from other characters being dazed and such. So not only will somebody be able to get like moved and heal and remove a special condition, Punisher will also get one of these punishment tokens. So hopefully I can rack those up and throw them on one of the attacks from Punisher. Ghost Rider is very similar. He's my only one big model that I've put in there, and that's purely on the fact that I enjoy the Spirit of Vengeance, so hopefully he can draw the aggro, or at least gain a ton of power when you target other guys, and then dump that into like Penance Stare, and things along those lines. And with a number of models on there, and his Wicked Judgment, he can hopefully cause a bunch of damage onto my opponents using that Wicked Judgment. So basically every time you score a crit on them, he spends 2 powers, and that's how much damage you take from it. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Plus he's really mobile himself with a large base and the Hell on Wheels and everything else. Tactics cards that I brought, all you've got in Doom Prophecy for that swingy turn to make these guys punch really hard. So that would be great on like Deadpool, or great on War Machine, even Sam himself could use that with, say, the shield throw. Doom Prophecy will just add the physical dice into the attacks for that round, and then all you've got gives you 4 activations. So it's very swingy, and if I can help eliminate those targets, then that's what that's for. It's all about the timing, though. Vincent and I have talked about this a bunch. Avengers Assemble for the extra movement. So you pay the power, then all of a sudden you get the short movement. So again, that paired with the leadership from Sam Wilson, doing the extra movement from Avengers Assemble. I think this card will be banned eventually, but Bitter Rivals, just so that way you lower those attack and defense dice. I actually might switch that out to something else after thinking about it a little bit because of the Crisis events, but we'll see. Heroes for Hire, that goes with Iron Fist, and that's purely on the fact that it gives me a bodyguard and a throw, and it can get him into position for something if I end up using him. And then I have Highway to Hell for dragging somebody away from objective, as well as giving them the Incinerate special condition, which that can definitely be tossed out. I haven't, oh sorry, I missed Blind Obsession as well, so I can put that on somebody and just hopefully shoot them down and then deal with the devil. So with Ghost Rider having a bunch of low 2-threat characters, I think it could be really good for him to all of a sudden pop back and be at full health again and get rid of that 2-threat to keep him on the board and keep going. Crisis events that I have here. For my secures, I went with Cosmic Invasion Black Order. It's a D deployment or D map. Riot Spark over Extremis, again, D map, and then Sword establishes base on Moon's blue area, which is a C map. And that's for the 2Ds, obviously, spreading out where the characters are, and then, which hopefully with me having more models will give me a bit of an advantage, and with guys with lots of firepower and long-range attacks, hopefully I can still affect other areas of the board with numbers on my side as well. And then the C one is just literally because of being able to get in there and start flipping things. I might switch that out for something else. I'm not sure yet. This is just initial thoughts of my Sam's list. And then for secures, I went with Spider Infected, Struggle for the Cubes, both F-style maps with 5 victory points, so trying to get as many of those as possible, and then hammers just to allow my guys to hit that much harder. But yeah, that is the thoughts for the list. I know I have a couple of changes, and I haven't played it out yet, so I will play these out, or will try to play this out at some point. But like, my one thought is for characters-wise, I might drop Punisher or Ghost Rider, might put in Nebula, so that way I can then get like 4 2-threat characters in there, and then continue to build up with more 3-threat characters after that, and really hammer in the numbers. So it's like looking at like, Sam, War Machine, Deadpool, and then it would be like, Black Widow and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what the idea is. I might try to put in Nebula in there. And most of these people have fought with the Avengers in the MCU or elsewhere, so I don't feel super bad for throwing this mix of characters together. But yeah, that's the list. That's what I'm thinking. So let me know what your thoughts are on the lists, on the characters and everything in the comments down below. We can throw your thoughts out there on what you thought and changes that you might suggest, and we'll go from there. But looking to getting these guys built up and giving it a try at least once. Won't be at least for another, well, from the time of this video, I guess, a couple of weeks at least. But that's okay. It will happen in time. While you're also checking out the comments, make sure you check out Torchlight Games and Hobbies and their link to their website or web store. Hit those guys up. Use the code FIRE5. Save yourself 5% off of your hobby supply needs. Also, you can check out our Patreon link down there. You can help support the channel and the content that we are producing. We definitely appreciate that. So thank you. Big thank you to our past and present Patreon members. So thank you very much to those guys. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, ignite your hobby.